Okay, this week's question from a listener. They wish to remain anonymous. We promise it's a real question, but they just wish to remain anonymous. When they send in this question, they ask, could you talk a little bit more, you've discussed it some already, about church directories? So this maybe kind of applies here. I assume that there's a need for these that still exist, but I agree with some of your comments about needing to maintain trust with our parishioners that we're not giving out their information. Do you have suggestions on how to meet the need of helping our parish get in touch with one another easily while also guarding their privacy?
Good question. So I think that, in the past, church directories seemed pretty common. My parishes I went to, I think, normally had one. And this was before the digital age. It was before it was so easy to take someone's information. It was, at the time, basically everyone's information was in the phone book. When I was a kid, you could look up anyone by their last name in your area and find their last name and get their phone number. And that's just not the way it is anymore. And so a lot of members of your church don't want a digital directory out there, something that is easily going to be scooped up by spammers or scammers to try to take their personal identifiable information and use it in other ways. So what used to be, I think, a fairly common thing where a church community might have a directory, a printed book that had even pictures sometimes, but names and phone numbers, maybe addresses, all listed out so that any member could look up the information of another member and get in touch with them, and that was it was a part of building your community and your relationships with each other. I think those days are generally gone. I don't hear of many churches really doing it that way anymore. The ones that try to, I think, run into a lot of pushback because it inevitably ends up as a digital resource they are putting on their website or emailing out to everybody. And once it's in digital form and you have all that information in there, it's just not something you want floating around on the internet. It's not something you want distributed to lots and lots of people. And of course, more and more people are more sensitive about their identity being stolen or other piece of information. We get so much spam on our emails and phones and everything else these days that we want to be more selective about who we give that information to. So in general, you're not going to be doing the same type of directory you used to do, not without getting a lot of pushback from members of your church. But I think it's important, it's good to step back and say, well, what problem were we really trying to solve with this in the first place? So that would be a good question to ask your pastoral council or whoever's thinking about doing this is, what problem are we trying to solve? Are we just doing it because it was always done? Or is there a real need here that we're trying to satisfy? Because if it's just people needing to get in touch with somebody or give feedback, usually it's one of the leaders they need to get in touch with. So certainly make contact information available for your leaders. Or there's other forums where they can reply back in a group conversation. So like on Flocknote, that's built in where people can kind of chat back and forth with each other. If they need feedback or they need to talk with somebody, or they can give it to just that person and say, hey, call me, here's my number, and kind of go back and forth in a private chat that way. Again, that kind of stuff's built into Flocknote. So there's other venues now where people can say, hey, contact me privately or chat me privately if you're on a social media channel or whatever, and I'll give you my contact info. And so generally, those problems just aren't there. You don't have someone in your community that needs to get a hold of somebody else in your community, and they just don't know how to do it. Generally, that's a pretty easy problem to solve, and so you don't need the same directory to do it. Now, on the backside, churches do want to have their own database of all that information. And again, that's something we help people do with Flocknote People add-on, so that a church does need to track all that information for their own people, but it should be a protected format where only admins have access to that and are able to see it, and you're not just making it freely available to everyone.